This video is part of our Configuration Manager lab setup video series. In this video, finally we are going to configure and install our Configuration Manager. In the past videos, in this video series, we configured our virtual machines, configured our domain controller, Active Directory, and installed all the required prerequisites for Configuration Manager. Hello everyone, this is Jay Singh. Welcome to my channel, Technic Solutions. If you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button and also click on the bell icon as well to get all the latest updates. Okay, so before you go ahead with this video, make sure you have checked out all the previous videos or you have performed all the similar tasks which are required for Configuration Manager installation. Okay, so now I'm going to log on to Configuration Manager server and where we will install Configuration Manager. So let's have a look at that. Okay, so I have logged on to technex-cm01 and I have logged in with this account CM admin. Okay, so this account previously we created in this video series. I will leave a link for you in the description below with the timestamp where we created this account. Okay, so you just make sure that this is the account and what permissions this account has. You can have a look at that. So to install Configuration Manager, definitely we need installation files. So I have all the installation files here in this virtual drive which we attached to our virtual machine. So all the files, they sit here in Configuration Manager. So in the original download, it was a zip file, so we have extracted all these files. In the previous video, I have already showed you how you can check the prerequisite checker so that everything is good to go in terms of installation. So I will show you one more time again in this video. And if you have already checked it, you can skip that part. So let's have a look at that. So here we have installation files. We will go to SMS setup and then bin and then x64. So here, if you go file and then we will run as administrator. Yes. So in PowerShell, we are going to locate a file which is prerequisite check.exe. Here it is, prereq check.exe file. So we can check all the switches. And also in the previous video, I have mentioned I couldn't locate a switch called /local. So maybe I just skipped it, but I just couldn't locate it. We will use a switch here. Let's just clear this one. So we will use a switch here, which is /local. Okay, so we will run that one. So you can see that there's a graphical user interface. It will do the prerequisite check for us. Okay, so it has finished prerequisite check. You can see that it is complaining about SQL Server security mode. So this is a warning, and then there's another one about memory. So memory is right, and this is a false positive where it says SQL Server security mode. This is a warning which it is giving us. So our SQL Server security mode is definitely Windows authentication, not SQL authentication. All right, we can double check that before we move forward. You might see that it can give you a warning about system management container and permissions on that. Maybe you just go ahead and just double check if it would be a false positive as well. However, it is good to double check that. So I'm going to double check the security mode here. So to do that, we will open SMS Management Studio, which is pinned right here. So let's open that and we will log in. All right, so we will connect to it. So right click at the top and then go to properties, and in properties we will go to security. Here you can see that it is Windows authentication mode. So we are good to go ahead. So let's just close this as well, close this as well. I'm going to close this. So I'll go back to the installation files. Here are the installation files. Double click on that. The file that we are interested in is splash.hta. So double click on that file. So it will open a new window, which is here. So we will click on install. So you can see that this is Configuration Manager version 2002. So click on install and we will accept it. Say yes to that. So before you begin, this is all the information. We have already done that. You can read the release notes online as well. So let's click next on that one. So install a Configuration Manager primary site, the first option we are going with. And there's a typical installation as well, which we don't want to do that. We want to have control on the installation that we are going to do. So I click next, and you can install evaluation here, or you can install, if you have a license key, you can just chuck in your license key and move forward with that. So I'm going to enter the license key here and I will click next on that one. So here are the license terms, and we have to accept these terms and we will move forward. So download required files or use previously downloaded files. So these are the files that we need. Either we can download these files now or you can use previously downloaded files. In one of the previous videos, I have showed you how you can download these files. I'll leave that link in the description. You can check it, or you can just go ahead and download these files. And I have previously downloaded, so I will browse to these files. So they are located here under CM_software and Configuration Manager update files. I will click OK on that and then click next. So this will verify the files. Okay, so now we have the next option is server language selection. So I will go with English. This is pre-checked. I will click on next, and now the client language selection, again language English is pre-checked. I'm happy with that one. Click next. So site code is very important. You know that we have pre-configured our database. In the database we have used TK3 as our site code, and also we use this name as our database name. So this is why I'm sticking with TK3 here. Site name, I will name it TechNex Head Office. And installation folder, this is important. So this is actually installing on C drive. We don't want to install on C drive. So we have a dedicated drive for installation of Configuration Manager. So let's open File Explorer. So we'll go to this PC, and here we will locate cm_install. So this is where we would like to install our Configuration Manager. So this is a D drive. So I'll go back to installation. And let's just populate that with D. So it will install in D program files and Microsoft Configuration Manager. And install the Configuration Manager console. Yes, we would like to install that as well. So this is ticked, and it will go ahead and install Configuration Manager console as well. So let's move ahead and we will click on next. So here we will select the second option, install primary site as a standalone, because we do not have any other site in our environment. So let's move forward. Click next on that one. Yes, that's what we have selected. Confirm. So here we have instance name, so leave blank for our SQL server. So this is a database. Database is located on the same server, which is technexcm01.technex.local. So database name, you can see that cm_tk3. So this is what we have selected. Service broker port, this is a default port. We have not changed anything, so we kept everything default, unless you have changed the instance name and it may have different broker port. All right, so we have site database name cm_tk3. Let's click on next. So here we have path to SQL Server data files. So we have changed our data files as well. So if I open File Explorer, and we can see that our MDF files, database files, they sit here under CM SQL MDF and under CMDB. So let's just copy that path. So here we are going to paste this path. So these are the data files, and the log files, they are located under CM SQL LDF. We'll copy this path as well. So you don't have to change this if you haven't made any changes on the database. So what I was recommending, that you should make a change. So if you have done that, and definitely you make a change here as well. Okay, so this is the data file, first one. Second one, log files. So once we have provided the correct information, let's move forward. So SMS provider, we are happy with that. This is where we want to install, and we will move forward again. Click next on that one. All sites use HTTPS. It's not configured yet. We will pick the second option, and we are using HTTP mode to start with. Click next on that one, and install a management point, install a distribution point, and you can see that HTTP here, HTTP here. So with the distribution point, I would like to point that out. Make sure that on your all drives, we have no SMS on drive file is located here. We have configured this file in our previous video. So make sure this file resides on all the drives except content library drive. So this is where our distribution point, place the content. So let's go back to the installation. So we are happy with that. HTTP, click next on that one. Diagnostic and usage data, this is some information provided here. We will move forward, and yes, let's get connected. So we will receive our updates in console. So for that one, we will say yes to that and click next on it. So you can see that this is the information that we have selected. Click next on that one. So now it is doing prerequisite check, which we have already done that in our previous step. All right, so it has came up with again false positive, which is SQL Server security mode, and process memory. We know that we have given less than 8 GB, so this is what it is recommending. So 4 GB for secondary site. So we can ignore that. We can ignore the first one because we already double checked our SQL Server is in Windows authentication security mode. So now it is the time to click on the install and it will start installing. And also there's a log that I would like to mention before we hit begin install. So if we go to File Explorer again, so we'll go to installation files of Configuration Manager, and within that click on SMS Setup, Tools. There is a tool here, CM Trace. This will be your best friend. So let's just I'm gonna copy it over to the desktop, and if we go back to this PC, local disk C, there's a log here, Configuration Manager prerequisite check. So here we will open it with CM Trace. I will open CM Trace first. Let's make it the default log viewer. In CM Trace, we'll open this PC, and local disk C, we will open config manager prereq.log. Open that log and you can find all the information that it has gone through. All right, so we can open another log. So another log is config manager setup.log. So there's another log, config manager setup wizard.log. I'm pretty sure this has information about the wizard, so what we have selected within the wizard. So now let's open config manager setup log. There will be some information in it, and let's minimize that one, minimize this one. We will start installing Configuration Manager now. So it can take up to half an hour or 1 hour, depends on the hardware you have. So we will click on begin install. You can see overall progress here, and in the log as well, it will start moving now. You can see the time, 7:55 a.m. It has started moving. So you can keep an eye on config manager setup.log file, and also you can keep an eye on here on installation as well. So you will see some reds here, which is fine. You can ignore for now unless you see any errors within the installation. So let it finish, and I will be back once this will finish. Okay, so installation is finished. You can see that it took about 35 minutes. And in some cases, it will say installation has completed, and some of the components, they will be still installing. So to track those changes, what you have to do, you go to the installation path where we have installed Configuration Manager. So program files. In Microsoft Configuration Manager here, we will have a folder named logs. So open logs. In here, we will have log file, which is sitecomp.log. If you open that file, you can view the changes in real time if it's still making any changes. All right. So in this case, everything is finished. Of course, there are some red marks you see around, but you're more interested in to the real installation here where it says everything is finished. All right, with everything is green ticked as well. So let's just close this one and close this one as well. So we will have a quick look at our Configuration Manager console. However, in detail, we will discuss about post-installation tasks in our next video. So let's have a look at that. We can see that it is connecting to our site. Okay, so this has connected. We will change it to monitoring here. So within monitoring, we will select system status. So extend that, and in site status, we see that everything is green ticked. All right. Apart from that, we can get information about the location of each component. So component server is located on our D drive, and distribution point is here on F dollar. So F dollar is F drive. is here, content library. So this is where we would like our distribution to be located. And service connection point, site server. So this is the database, and the database is actually, you can see that cm underscore tk3 database, and this is the log file cm underscore tk3 transaction log. So everything looks good here. We can also look at component status as well. So here you can see that maybe you'll see one or two warnings. There you go. There are some, but these will resolve themselves later. Okay, we can ignore those ones. So that is all for this video. If you find this informative, give it a thumbs up and show your support. Subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon as well to get all the latest updates from this channel. Leave it in the comments. How did you go with your setup? And if you have any questions regarding this, leave it in the comments below as well. I'm more than happy to help you or work with you to fix any problems or any issues you are facing in terms of installation of Configuration Manager in your lab environment, if you have followed all my videos. So in the next video, we will do some post installation tasks. And I did another video series actually, where we have configured current branch as well, which was based on 1802. So I will leave a link for you in the description for that video series, so you can check out some of the videos. You might find those videos helpful as well. I will see you in the next video. Have a good one in the meantime. Take care.